Hi guys! Last week's video was a repeat of one I made from last year in which I talked about failing with my Amaryllis. And one thing I love about making videos is I get some really great advice. And I have decided to take the advice of one of my viewers' comments and give it a go. It was exactly the opposite of what I was doing. So I thought, I have nothing to lose. So let me read the comment. I had asked for people to weigh in on the situation, and if you didn't catch the other video, my problem was my Amaryllis grew. I started giving them water and light in October, but they only grew foliage, no blooms. So that was my conundrum. But I did have a viewer weigh in right away, and I wanted to read you the comment. Tomo Kitty 2153, thank you so much for commenting, said, I never had luck reflowering my Amaryllis either, just lots of foliage, and that's been my issue. I give them summers outdoors followed by 6-week cold and dark period, but no luck. However, a friend treats his as a house plant planted in soil in an oversized pot. It never leaves its indirect light location and is watered throughout the year. It's many years old and the bulb is enormous and blooms repeatedly. I might try his technique, which he calls benign neglect. Thank you and enjoy the holiday season. Thank you so much for that lovely and informative comment. So I realized that I do actually have a bulb that I never unplanted last year. You can see it does have some green on it, so it is still alive. And I think roots have totally taken over its pot. This was an original pot. You'll have to excuse the heater, guys. But this was the original pot that I planted it in. But he mentioned that his friend has an oversized pot. So I have this great terracotta. I'm going to go ahead and use it. I happen to have some Miracle Grow potting mix from the grocery store. And I'm going to give this a try. I'm going to pot this up in my potting soil in a large pot. And I'm going to leave it in the same sunny spot year-round, and we'll see. You know, I could be waiting a year for blooms, but we'll see if this technique works. I've been thinking it has to go into dormancy and change temperature, change location, change its lighting conditions, and here he's telling me that he has a friend that leaves it in its pot year-round in the same location, and he gets blooms every year. So let's give this a try. Honestly, I have nothing to lose. Look what's sitting in my basement. It's like a half woken up bulb. So let's see if we can wake this bulb up, and maybe this will be my Amaryllis that does rebloom. It's an interesting experiment. So let me put some soil in first of all. My others are still in their bulb vases, and I have no idea whether they'll ever rebloom. And like I said in my last video, maybe I should just be happy that these bulbs are still alive and producing leaves. I don't know, but this is I'm hoping this is gonna be the technique that works for me too. And it certainly is fun to try. And honestly, the best part is that we're on YouTube sharing all of our knowledge together. So you saw me shake in some fertilizer. This is Osmocote flower and vegetable food, and it's a slow release fertilizer. It's not going to burn the roots. And I'm going to be really generous, and I'm just mixing it right into that bottom layer of soil that's going to be around my Amaryllis. Now let's take this out and go ahead. There we go. So we do have a nice set of roots. Some of them look pretty dry. This is growing in a very cocoa peat light mixture. So I'll kind of mix that in as it's falling off. But it's clearly alive, guys. Maybe I'll just put this in. It can break down and feed the plant, just the extra brown material that covers a bulb that's falling off. I'm not going to pull any off, but it's falling off. But look, guys, it's definitely alive, if you can see the green there. So let me tuck that down in there, and you always want the top part of the bulb sticking out. That's the way these particular bulbs seem to always be planted. I'm not claiming, obviously I'm not claiming to be an expert. I haven't had luck blooming these, but that's how I always see them professionally planted, where the most of the bulb is above the surface, and then the roots and the bottom part of the bulb are tucked down into the soil. All right, so I have now going to press it down on the side, and this already has some moisture. I'm not sure I'm going to water it right away. This potting mix feels moist to me. It's certainly in comparison to the dry cocoa coir that it was planted in. So I'm going to plant it straight. And I would say I have about half the bulb up. I'm telling you this just in case I have luck, and then we can look back and see what I did. But part of the, I think I'm just going to tuck the bottom third in. All right, so now I have it all tucked in. Let's put some more fertilizer on it. Now this happens to be flower and vegetable food, so that I know this is good for a blooming plant. And I'm not going to treat this like a bulb anymore. I'm going to treat it like a plant. It's going to be in this pot year-round, and I'm going to just pick one location to put it in. So guys, here it is. I've taken the advice of my viewer. Thank you so much. I learned so much from all of you. Everybody gives such good advice. Sometimes it's hard to pick which advice to take, but this just sounded so different from what I've been doing, and I thought, well, I have nothing to lose. And maybe it is good to completely do a 180 and do something like this. So I'm going to tuck this into a sunny window, if I can find one in my house. And actually it needs indirect light. That's what he indicated. Most plants really love indirect light, so I'm going to try to find an indirect light location, and I'll keep you updated. I'll let you know if it grows a bloom or if it grows foliage. I will probably water this in a couple days, and because I'm treating it like a plant, maybe I'll let it get slightly dry before I water it again, but I will keep it watered maybe once a week. So guys, thanks so much for watching me on my Amaryllis journey, and we'll see if this works for me like it worked for my commenter's friend. So fingers crossed. And I hope you have a very happy holiday season with your family and friends, and perhaps maybe you have some blooms to enjoy as well.